But according to this 2023 poll, Donald Trump is currently enjoying 20% support among black voters. And Joe Biden, who saw 91% support in 2020, now has only 61% in these polls. I see a bunch of videos popping up of people asking black Americans if they're going to be supporting Trump. And it tends to be a little bit of a mixed bag where people are like, no way, Trump's racist. But we are seeing more and more of these videos where you've got guys being like, I'm going to be honest, I'm voting for Trump. Don't F with my dog. There's that famous video where the one guy's like pointing the gun at the camera and he's like, don't F with Trump. This is going to be interesting. The Wall Street Journal wrote an article several years ago that said, if at any point the Democrats lose 20% of the black vote, they cannot win an election.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks with Kenny here today, and we're going to have another analysis about this whole thing with the black vote, right? I kind of wanted to talk about this black vote because I was scrolling on Twitter, and Rob Smith, I'm pretty sure some people know about him in conservative circles. He was popular in the Vice debate with black liberals versus black conservatives, and he has I guess, an argument against why the black vote would never vote Republican in any real numbers. And I kind of disagree with this synopsis. I think in the short term, he's right. I do believe that, nothing's going to change in a year. Polls can say one thing, but reality can show us another. So I'm going to go into some of his commentary, and I'm going to kind of give my points or my thoughts about this stuff, because I think it's been a prominent issue in the black community and in politics in general. Is like, why is the Republican brand so off-putting for a lot of black Americans? And all I can speak from is from my point of view. I'm a independent, leaning right, so I consider myself conservative. So I speak for the majority of black people, but having firsthand experience with a lot of black people, right, who tend to be liberals. My mom's a Democrat. Many people in my family are Democrats. I can just give my perspective on the things and try to give my commentary on what's going on. So let's read his commentary. Trump did everything to get the black vote in 2020 and only got 11%, which is true. And he says the platinum plan, which is what Trump was pushing, was a real effort and honest effort, and they still got very little. And I think this is due to the monopoly of influence that mainstream media has on the black community. I'm going to say this and I'll blow in the face. Malcolm X famously quoted, the media can make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And I think it's media. Media is the big problem why black community have such a stigma on Republicans, and why I have this view about black conservatives being grifters, or, oh my God, they're trying to spin, or watch the spin, right? They're always so skeptical of the black conservative, but they never levy that same level of skepticism on the black liberals and black Democrats. Because at the end of the day, my argument as a black conservative is black people been voting Democrat for 50 plus years, and everything's still the same. They still complain about the same problems. They still think that racism is a big issue in America. But you're voting for the party that I can make the argument founded the KKK, founded white supremacy, institutionalized segregation, right? All that came from the Democratic Party. Every time black people were doing well, Democrats put out a policy that in the long term hurt the black community. And all I'm trying to do as a black conservative is bring attention to that, so that way you people are more open to my position and actually willing to hear me out. Because for too long, mainstream media, which tend to be liberal and left, because I have all the facts on my hand, journalism is the most liberal profession in America, which is a liberal. I'm putting the claim that journalists have a liberal bias, and they don't want to purport and put their party in a negative light. And all media that black people consume seems to praise liberals or have a passive liberal bias in a positive light. And they put conservatives and Republicans in a negative light. And I think this is what is contributing to the black community's default stance of being skeptical or kind of off-put by the Republican brand. But hey, I digress. 2024 numbers will be the same. I don't believe that. I think it's going to be some increase because there's a trend going, right? He had more black support in 2020 than he did in 2016, right? The reason why they say Trump lost the vote because he lost some of the white vote, and that kind of played a part into it too. But he made some inroads with Hispanics, with black people, right? And I think in the long term, I'm not a defeatist. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, like it's never going to change, because in the day, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If how we'll know if we don't try. End of the day, this is his assumption. This is his take. End of the day, we both rationalizing about this. He has a more pessimistic view. I have a more optimistic view, because I'm on that camp. There's two camps of black conservatives. The black conservatives that say, hey, black people are so emotional, they can't get out of their own way, they don't want to change their mind. We'll never get their vote. And you got more of the optimistic people like I am, who are saying, hey, yeah, sure, maybe in the short term, we're not going to get the vote. But the whole point is, on principle, hey, I want my people to make an informed decision, right? And if I give them all the information that I have, and they can agree, and they can do their due diligence and see, oh yeah, Kenny's right about this point. Kenny's right about this point. Oh yeah, the Democrats did start the KKK. Oh right, the parties never switched, right? Oh, Woodrow Wilson, Democratic president, institutionalized segregation, revived the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, that was the Democrats' fault. Lyndon B. Johnson's policies incentivized the black community to create this culture where we are today, where we're suffering the consequences of that today. Yeah, Kenny, you're right about that. And they still decide to vote Democrat. Hey, to me, as a black conservative, I can sleep well at night, because I say I gave my case. I gave my case, and the black people made their decision anyway, right? But I'm not gonna take myself out, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So that's why I'm here on the internet. That's why I'm giving my opinion. This is why I'm putting my face behind, because I actually believe what I said. If I didn't actually believe everything I said, I wouldn't put my face behind it. So this is why I laugh when black liberals or black Democrats come on here with their pro-democratic talking points, talking about how I'm a grifter. When two-way street, my argument, how you're not a grifter. Right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. Al Sharpton made a killing telling black people to vote Democrat. Jesse Jackson made a killing telling black people to vote Democrat. But you ain't calling them grifters, when obviously they benefited from influencing the black community to vote Democrat. And now that I'm trying to come in as a young black man, 27 years old, right, giving my perspective on it, trying to tell us, hey, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And all I'm saying is, hey, why you don't glance at the Republican Party real quick? But instead, you'll hit me with your propaganda, right, about how America really is. But you don't want to get at the heart of the problem. But I digress. So Republicans branding in the black community is toxic, is how, sorry, I kind of paraphrased that. Or the onslaught of Democratic propaganda blacks receive virtually everywhere we go in media. Hollywood, right? News media. And news media, I think 5 out of the 6 holding companies that are responsible for 90% of media are run by liberals. Even Fox News, right? Allegedly. So you can't, no Democrat can come here and tell me that, oh, you're getting a biased take, Kenny. No, you're giving a biased information. Black people are just disproportionately exposed to Democratic propaganda, even in public schools, where Democrats have a large influence over the education system, because they're supported by the teachers union, who are overwhelmingly Democrats. You don't think the teacher's going to give a favorable view of the Democratic Party? Is it no surprise a lot of kids in our education system have a false sense of history, have a narrow view of history? They're teaching 1619 in public schools, and you're wondering why the black community has a skewed vision of history, right? They learn about 1619, but they don't tell you about 1620, how the first slave owner was a black man, Anthony Johnson. Look it up. Why wasn't that in 1619, right? They cherry pick what they want to highlight and focus on in history. And that's just been my argument all along. Right? They're on the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and watching Breakfast Club, where they get Democratic propaganda day in and then day out. And this is why I laugh when some people come on my comment section and say it's both sides. Charlemagne makes the same claim. Oh, I'm independent. I'm not for either party. Oh, but actions speak louder than your words. Have you ever voted Republican in your life, Charlemagne? The answer is no. So you're a Democrat by default. So you're a left-leaning independent, right? And this is the argument I always have when I see people in my comment section. I say, okay, you say it's both sides, but you're comfortable with your people voting 90% for one of them, but it's both sides. And as a black conservative, all I'm saying is, hey, yo, you giving a party 90% of your vote. What incentive does the Democratic Party have in actually changing their strategy? Because, I hear a lot of criticism about how the Democrats are, the black voters are in a abusive relationship with the Democratic Party, because essentially the Democratic Party don't have to change anything. The black community has kind of taught or rewarded the Democratic Party with their vote by merely spewing confirmation bias, merely saying nice things or good things about the black community, giving it essentially flattery to the black community. And that's what the black community seems to want, right? The black community, rather you tell them, hey, we're going to make Juneteenth a holiday, than actually pushing out economic zones, which is the platinum plan that Trump had for black America, right? That's something tangible, right? Increased business opportunities in low poverty areas to drive more business in that area, so that way black people have more opportunities. Black people said, no. They hit Trump like Drake. I don't want none of that. I want the Democrats telling me Juneteenth is a holiday. I want Democrats telling me that nothing's my fault. And that's a lie. Black community should know it's a lie. But that's all they do. The black vote rewards people who pander to them. Republicans are not willing to pander to them. Democrats are. And Democrats pander in a very dishonest way. And that's all black community is going to get. They're going to get scraps. They're just going to get the same old. Hey, be comfortable with your welfare. Be happy with your welfare and get out of here. All right. And then until we need you for in the next election. Right. And they know, and black people know their vote is being taken for granted. But my question is, as a black conservative, is what black people are going to do about it. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you to look out for your own best interest. Right. Why you expect why you expect a party ran by majority of white people to look out for your best interest? And that's true for both parties, right? Democrat and Republican, right? But my question is, find a win-win situation. And right now, the win-win situation is do for yourself. You gotta pick a party that will empower you to help you take advantage of your own opportunities. But that's on you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Same thing with success and opportunity. If we give you opportunity zones, hey, here, you have more access to start businesses. But if the black people never start the businesses, you'll never be able to take advantage of the opportunities. While the Democrats, their solution is, here's what we have for you. Here's our plan for you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to shelter you, whatever, but you can't make more money than this. And you guys go, okay, because it's more convenient. It's more easy. If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. If I told you, hey, here's an opportunity, start your own business and you get access to capital, but it's on you to do the work. That's a harder path. But then if you're able to succeed, you have more control, you have more economic power, you have more leverage. While the other option that the Democrats give you, they spoon feed you. They say, hey, we're going to take care of you. We're going to give you housing. We'll give you this. But the downside is, in the long term, you're dependent on the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has a carrot on the stick for you. Oh, if you don't vote for us, the Republicans are going to cut welfare and it's going to hurt you. And you've been so dependent on them. You've been so conditioned to rely on your welfare. And this is the negatives of welfare. You get dependent on them to the point where you only know how to operate within the system that is given to you, aka plantation. But a lot of black people don't see it my way. And that's why I disagree. Right? But let's continue. You think they're watching cable news? They're on the Shade Room. I already said that point, right? And I kind of went on a tangent, but the Breakfast Club, there's a white pill here. Larry Elder went on the Breakfast Club and gave Charlamagne that work. He gave everybody that work. And what happened? If you look at the comment section on that 1 hour video, a lot of people were saying, yo, I never liked Larry Elder, but he makes some good points here. Hey, I had assumptions about Larry Elder, but here I have a different view of him now. Thanks for having him on, right? A lot of people are coming out saying, oh, I never know some of that. Hey, some of the stuff he's saying, y'all need to confront that. Charlamagne never answered the question. Everyone's commenting on, damn, that clap back about Joe Biden's giving Charlamagne the ninja moment was hilarious, right? People are commenting on that. And I think we are making inroads. It's just, I think some people think it should be happening faster. And to me, this is a long-term thing. I don't see the black vote shifting in any significant way until my kids are 20 years old, right? So this is a long-term plan. Just the way that the Democrats came in a long-term plan to change the black vote to go on their side is the same thing that the Republicans will have to do. But I think we should just keep pushing on, right? The fact that most of you will not know what any of those things are shows you exactly how culturally out of touch most conservatives are with the black, where blacks actually consume their messaging. The best Republicans can hope for, and I'm being 100% honest, is that black get fed up with the Democrats and refrain from voting for them. And that is realistic where things are trending with the awakening that is happening. But only fools will think that people will just vote for Republicans after a lifetime of propaganda pushing them against it. And that's the truth. I agree with this last point here. That's the truth, right? And I don't think that's the best the Republican can hope for. The best any political party can hope for is that they get a sizable majority of a certain demographic to vote for them. The best that the Republicans can hope for is to get a 60% share of the black vote. That's the best we can hope for, right? The minimum we can hope for, and this is where I disagree with him, is that blacks at a disproportional rate don't vote. And to me that's a sorry way to win. I don't want to win like that. And I think this is why I'm pushing so hard on the internet, and I'm giving all my opinion, and I'm trying to, convey how I think to other people, give some of my resources. A great book to read, and I recommend this for anyone who wants a different perspective from 1619, but they still want to hear it from black people, right? Is a good book that I like to recommend is Red, White, and Black, where everyone in that book is a black scholar, educated, and they teaching black history from a different perspective that we're used to in public school, in liberal media, in private school, public school, whatever you go to. It shows you how even during the worst time in American history, black people were still successful. Black people were still succeeding in life. W.E. Du Bois, right? We can make the argument that he had more disadvantages in his time than I do. He was the first ever Harvard graduate. How is it during the most racist time, right? One of the most racist time, right? Emancipation just happened. He was the first generation to be free, born free. W.E. Du Bois, after Booker T. Washington's generation, the first generation after slavery. And he was a Harvard graduate. But you're telling me now in 2023, black people have less opportunity? Black people don't have as good as an opportunity as white people here in 2023? I think that's asinine. I don't think that's a good argument to make, right? And Red, White, and Black shows you the achievement of black people, right? It shows you how black people were overcomers and victors, not just victims and the oppressed. And that's what I can't stand about black history, because black history has become a very politicized thing where you don't teach holistic history. You just teach a certain history that gives you that gives a confirmation to your own biases and your own preconceived notions about your current situation, and you use it to justify your situation today. You use it to justify why racism is a big issue in your life. And I think that's what's been going on in our entire culture and entire history. And I just think it's been politicized to the point of where now, the conservatives, I think conservatives need to voice their opposition to this stuff more directly and start fighting for the influences of their fellow Americans, because I don't see black, white, Asian, whatever. I see America. And if one American makes a claim, then I'm allowed to push back against that claim, regardless of their skin color. And I think if we want a more unified America, as conservatives, we need to fight more back. We need to fight back more against these preconceived notions. And that's part of the reason why I made the Inconvenient Truths, to try to give a more holistic perspective on some of the issues where we by default assume a certain position. But hey, I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What you guys think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you believe that the black vote can be won? Can't be won? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.